So let's start a brand campaign. So I'm going to start new campaign. Again, I'm going to create it without a Google guidance. I'll tell you why when we get there. Search, but again, I'm gonna ignore these for now, so I don't listen to the recommendation tab anyway. Brand campaign, label whatever you'd like. Check out of the display network as normal. Start date and date campaign URL options. We're not gonna run DSA, so this one I'm just gonna leave this part blank. Add schedule all day because it's your brand name, especially if someone wants to come back and buy from you. Definitely run all day. Pick your right locations, pick your right presence, languages, choose your all language, audiences, we'll add RLSA afterwards. Budget, be on the lower end on your brand campaign. Your brand campaign is gonna be easiest to convert. It's gonna have the cheapest CPCs and it's going to perform the best. What we don't wanna do is overpay for this traffic. But what you do wanna do is see how your other campaigns are influencing people searching a brand. This is going to be when we talk about, I think, isn't it tomorrow we do YouTube? Yeah, when we use YouTube display and discover, you're going to see your brand is going to start to become more popular because those are secondary effects of running outbound marketing. If I see 6 YouTube ads about a company, I'm like, yeah, that's okay. I got to see who this is. If you don't click on that YouTube ad, the only thing you can do is open up a new tab and search for a brand name. So you don't want to limit this too much to not give a good indicator of is your other campaigns driving up the brand name, because the brand name is going to convert very well. I don't care if someone saw a YouTube ad, searched my brand name and bought. Awesome. Didn't come from my brand campaign, but that's where the conversion took place. So you want to make sure that you can scoop up that traffic and see it. They're going to find you organically, and that's fine. You're just going to watch a different area. Inside analytics is your brand, is your direct and is your organic traffic increasing from your outbound campaigns. Or some way to identify exactly where it's coming from is to use a brand campaign, because you can see top conversion paths, what campaign started the journey and then ended in your brand. So set this higher, but not absolute low. Don't set it as low as your competitor. Be $5 or $10 higher than your competitor. So let's say 15, 20. In your bidding, this is here. I always use manual CPC without enhanced, because they convert really well. When you run maximize conversions and it converts really well, it's going to be a saturation effect. It's going to just scoop up all that traffic. Now, would I run target CPA? Maybe not really. Might be the second time that they've searched. Maybe they might visit my website one time before. But if they're coming back to Google my brand name, I don't want to say like, no, I don't think you're coming back to me to buy. I don't want you. So but I will choose to say I don't want to overspend for that, because if you overspend for that, you're going to spend for the traffic that's most likely going to find you organically anyway. But you don't want to overspend for your conversion that's going to have a 30, 40, 50% conversion rate. If you look at our brand name here, my conversion rates or my interaction rate is 42% click-through rate. My cost per click is 13 cents. My conversion rate is conversion rate here. I don't like Google. It doesn't save my columns. My conversion rate on my brand campaign is 18%. That's, I mean, my cost per conversion is ridiculous. It's 72 cents. I'm not paying very much at all for this. So start with manual and then work your way into target CPA if you'd like to. That's what I'd recommend, or even target ROAS. But if they're coming back for your brand name, especially in the beginning, especially when you're running outbound campaigns, you don't want to exclude someone that saw 5 YouTube ads, never went to your website before, and then first time they went to your website is Google saying like, oh, that's the first time they've been here. No, I don't want them, because I don't think they're going to convert yet.
You're going to miss out. You consider target impression share.
You can. Now, if you use target impression share on your brand name, what you're doing is you're going to compete with Google's thought process on what the bid needs to be. What I mean by that is in your brand campaign, and I don't know if this is a good example or not. Let me just see if it is. Hold on. Yeah, I only have 2 other people that we're bidding against, and the overlap rate's non-existent. But if you use target search impression share, what Google is going to do is artificially raise your bids to as high as they possibly can get it if you want to be number 1 on the page. What's nice about your brand campaign is you have the best quality score anybody is going to have in Google Ads for that keyword. No one's going to have a better quality score for that keyword. So you can afford to tell Google, you know what, I only want to pay 12 cents. And first page bid might be 80 cents, but you're number one 90% of the time because Google is going to reward the person with the best quality score, the best position. And your competitors, remember, competitor traffic is going to be a horrible quality score because they're not you. You're not them. So you have an amazing quality score. So you actually can afford to pay 50% less than top of page bid and be number one 90% of the time. It's a real weird oddity, but it works. So you can use target search per share. I always run manual because I've taken over, or I've done evaluation. There's one company that has, they're the largest, one of the largest printer companies in existence, like commercialized printer companies. And they were paying $8 for their brand name. And they only needed to spend about 50 cents. So it was a huge, and they were using, I think, target search per share, if I remember correctly, because they need to have big brand visibility. But I was like, you're just, all you're doing is getting less clicks per day, which means you're actually becoming less visible. If I have $10 a day and I'm spending $1 clicks, I get 10 visits. If I'm spending 50 cents, I get 20 visits. So by lowering your bid, you are serving longer in the day with more visits and have more visibility. Even if maybe once in a while you're number two. I would be number two 1/20th of the time if it means I get to double my traffic. So find a good balance there. Manual CPC without enhanced, show more settings, conversions, yes, advertising, yes, site links, again. I don't know why this doesn't, here we go, I'm just going to use cool features. I have to go through these after and clean up our site links. Now, call extensions, again, you can. E-commerce, we usually don't even use calls unless we know that those phone calls are going to drive conversions. A lot of times you're just going to end up paying Google Ads for people looking to you just to get in contact with you to ask a question. Not a lot of people would Google your brand name and then call you and say, hey, I like everything you say. Can I order something over the phone? Most of the time people are going to call you and say, like, where is this? Why is that? I mean, think about the last 20 calls you received. How many of those are orders? Or last 20 emails you received. How many of those are orders? Those people are going to call. You're going to pay per click, pay per call. So just be mindful of that. Aggregate name, brand, default bid. I'm going to start this at 20 cents. Remember, I'm paying 13 cents. My dynamic search ads, which is heavily branded, is 19 cents. My search campaigns are $1 and $2. So start it low. Start it at a possibly ridiculous one, and just start there. Doesn't mean you're not. That's where we're going to end there. Start there. Keywords. Again, it's your brand name. You be very, very specific. Solutions 8, and I'm going to do Sol 8, and then I'm also going to do a phrase of Solutions 8. Now, phrase under brand name is going to be good. The reason is because someone's going to say, Solutions 8 Google Ads, Solutions 8 PPC, Solution 8 Google AdWords. That's all going to be captured by my phrase here, because I have Solutions 8 and then anything before and after. We all kind of have a good understanding of what match types are. This means that normally this has to be written this way before Google started to ignore it a little bit, but it can have anything before and it can have anything after. It just has to have this word first and that word second. You can also do, Google will do this for you, so you don't have to worry about it. If you do have numbers, Solutions 8, this here will turn into numerical. Numerical will turn into, it will capture both those search terms. But if you wanted to, you can always, write it out fully. I'm going to use this to start, and I'm going to look at my search terms and see, is there any other way that people are finding me? Because I can bid on those too, because it's people looking for me. So I'm going to start with phrase match. I usually would start with broad match modified and do it that way, but broad match modified is going away. So that's just going to be how it works. So Solutions 8, you can also do, if you wanted to, you put one in there for like, Solutions 8, Google. That's Google Ads, Google AdWords. That's going to capture all of them. Should you include misspellings? Google actually does misspellings for you, sometimes in a really annoying way, where it's like misspelling and it actually turned into irrelevant because it was spelled incorrectly, and that has nothing to do with you. More often that's search, like a search campaign or competitor campaign, but you can Google will actually match a misspelling with a proper spelling. So you're okay there. As otherwise you're going to think of every single possible misspelling. Now, the if you have a company that has a name like Evolve, Evolve was evolve the word spelled incorrectly on purpose. That one was a little bit difficult because people were trying to spell it the right way. They weren't spelling evolve EVOLVH. That's not right. That's not English. Google was actually saying, did you mean evolve? And then spelling it the correct way. And people were like, oh, okay, perfect. So we had a bid on the word evolve. That got expensive because think about the entire country going to Google and typing in any keyword that has to do with evolve. Evolutionary process. Did we evolve from apes? You know, you got everything. So that was a pain. But again, Google is going to ask them, do you mean that or did you mean this? Think about that as well. If you have a company that is spelled incorrectly on purpose of a popular correctly spelled word, that gets a little bit tricky. All right, so I'm just going to put one ad group here for my brand because that's all I need. I don't need different ad groups. There is sometimes a good reason to write a keyword or make a page for review. I'll give you a physical example. This is a company called, they're in their off season right now from COVID, but they did debt consolidation. And what you'll see is in their brand campaign, we actually set up ad groups called reviews and then plus comment searches. And check this out. Reviews, and then look at this, the comment searches, scam. People are wondering, is it a scam? And so when we look at the search terms, let me just see if I can find, yeah, scam, like, is it a scam? That's what people look at, like, is this place really going to consolidate my debt or are they just going to, you know, scam me? We have, let me just do this here. I'm going to do conversion rate. Conversion rate on basically, is it a scam? 41%. The reason why, I actually had the client build this page here for scam and review, and it's going to the About Us page, and the About Us page has who they are, a see the offer, who is, watch a short clip, a video about why they're not a scam, and a bunch of reviews from both Google and Trustpilot and why it works. So people say, hey, is this company a scam? And the company that they're looking for is a scam. Shines up and says, no, we investigated ourselves. We're not a scam. And we're like, oh, good, 40% conversion rate. Okay, go figure. But if you do, when you look at the search terms, we found that people were looking for debt hunch scam, and we're like, man, we're getting a lot of searches for debt hunch scam. What if we built a page showing, hey, how this is how we're not a scam and trust us? And those convert 40%. So brand name, you can do when you run phrase match on your own brand name, you're going to find all of the ways people are looking for it. And it might be like, you know, ABC company BBB, ABC company reviews, ABC company scam, ABC company shipping times, like ABC company. And then people are going to look, should I buy from there? Is anybody else complaining about them? Bid on those keywords to build a page with a lot of social proof. Kind of a cool advanced technique, works really, really well. So that's something you can do, but you'll find that in bidding on phrase match because you'll see your brand name plus anything else that they're searching in that search term. Again, part of optimization is going through search terms, finding relevancy, irrelevancy, pushing away the irrelevancy, and capitalizing on the relevancy. That's what we're going to cover in optimizations. But again, this one for your brand, send them to your homepage. That's what I'd recommend. You can send them to your product pages or an A/B test your homepage. Again, up to you. But if you have 674 SKUs, you don't know why someone is looking for your brand. They might be looking for SKU 237. They're going to have to find it. So just don't send them to a wrong page or like, oh, that's not what I thought this company was, and they leave. So display path, you just say, again, like for us, it would be like, you know, Google Ads Agency, something like that. You know, whatever. I probably should have wrote that the other way. But there you go. So Google Ads Agency, make sure that's relevant. So we have, you can put a theme there too, especially if you like, put some, any sort of incentives or offers too, if you'd like to. So if you have a, for this next 2 weeks, if you have 10% off, you know, say 10% off promotion, you know, could do that, free shipping. Be a little bit selfish about putting all of your attributes in here. There's also call extensions and structure snippets that you can do as well, but Cosmo dropped that video here, and I would recommend looking at the site, look at all the ad extensions. And then I want to cover one that I think is pretty cool. So again, this one, use your brand name. I recommend pinning it. Use your brand name, pin it, headline #1. That's a good reason. Because if you do have a competitor who's bidding on your brand name and then they're using your brand name in their ad as your name and your ad doesn't have your name, they're clicking on them. just going to be, oh, that's the company I'm looking for. So use your brand name, pin it to headline 1 for sure. And then anything else, obviously, use standalone, really good, high quality headlines and descriptions. And make sure that you can be bullish here. Anything that you can talk highly of yourself, put that in your headlines and your descriptions. You're going to have other traffic that's going to try to bid on it. You're going to have other traffic that might start to badmouth you in their ads. A really good way to identify a kind of a ninja tactic is look at your competitors, look at what they don't have, put that in your headline. You have a competitor that does charge shipping, yours is free shipping. If you have other competitors that guarantee 3-day shipping, see if you can guarantee 2-day shipping, whatever it may be. Look at what your competitors have, find out what they don't have, put that in your headline, because as they start to look at you and other competitors, they might look at a competitor A, and then when they click on competitor A, they go to their website, and then they're still searching, and maybe they found you from a competitor ad, and your ad then says, hey, we have what they don't, or we don't have what they do, whatever the benefit is there. So look at it from a competitive ecosystem for brand, because other people are going to probably get bid on it too. No expected traffic. Check your. I don't know why it gives us this.
I did that when I shot my course too.
I know. I know that there's traffic for this, so random. So anywho, that's weird. Oh, oops. This has been doing it like every time, no matter what. Okay. So again, after you create your brand campaign, oh yeah, look at that. Oh, apparently they're all eligible though. Google, you're wrong. So this is where you're going to look at what's my max CPC. Again, look at first page, top of page, first position bid, adjust accordingly. Go into your audiences, add your RLSA, browse, observation in my campaign and my brand, people who have, I almost clicked in market, people remarketing our similar audiences. We're actually going to use the audiences and topics tomorrow. So we're going to go into a deep dive into like audience targeting. That's where you're going to go for your outbound campaigns. DSA, or sorry, display, discovery, and YouTube. And then there's some pretty ninja techniques in targeting, which is going to be fun. YouTube visitors, all visitors, great. I chose the wrong one. Remove. I would like to use my Google Ads tag, and I chose the wrong one. Most of the visitors, there it is. An error occurred. Awesome. Any questions though about brands so far?
So I'll go ahead and go.
All right.